Good morning, y'all. We're back. We're gonna do some field peas with what I call baby squash in them. You'll understand in a minute. If you've never done this, it's wonderful. We're gonna do them in the crock pot because, like I told y'all, I have a little meeting. We're gonna put them in the crock pot. We're gonna put some. I've already put some water in there. You don't want to You don't want to fill your crock pot up. You just barely want it to cover the beans. That way you don't have too juicy, you know. Anyway, we're gonna put a little bit of onion. Y'all remember what I told y'all about that onion? Don't forget it. It's right up there with butter. Makes everything so good. Y'all, I don't know where y'all are this morning, but I'm gonna tell you right here at McHenry, Mississippi, it is a beautiful morning. It's been foggy the last couple of days, but it was beautiful this morning. Sun coming up. Birds are whistling. I love nature. I really, really do. And I rinsed my onion, y'all. Rinse your onion in your knife. My mama said that was how to not cry when you peeled an onion. And I think it works, because I don't. I'm gonna, you know what I said with, I'm back to that. Y'all know what I said with the onion. I'm not making little baby bites. I wanna see it. So we're gonna cut that onion up in chunks, sorta, kinda. I'm making these a little bit thicker than for the tomato gravy though. See, my chunks are like that, kinda like that. I'll cut up a small one because I don't have very many peas. Y'all, this is a trick that my mother-in-law taught me, mother-in-law. I don't think my mama ever did this, but it's delicious. If you've never had squash like this is how to do it. I don't know if you would call them, I don't think, they're not stewed because they're just not. They're in the peas, but they're delicious. I'm trying to get that supper done, y'all. That tomato gravy is just about to the consistency I want it. Consistency that I want it. So it's getting turned off. Yeah, that looks good. Even though I don't need it. Y'all just have to bear with me because it's usually like a madhouse in this kitchen. When I go to cooking, it's crazy. All right, and I run out of my peas that I put up last year, y'all. So I bought some. They're just as good out of the freezer section though. When I do have to buy them, I buy the Pick Sweet Farms. I get it at Piggly Wiggly. Or I think Walmart carries it too. Anyway, they're the purple hull peas. We're gonna put them in there. However many, and keep in mind, I mean, I don't know how you feel about leftovers or whatever, but we don't hardly throw anything away around here. So I'm gonna do those peas. And that's probably too many for just us. We'll eat on those tonight, tomorrow night. And if there's anything left, I'll put them in the freezer to bring out a separate time. My sister told me one time they lived in New Mexico. Her husband at the time was military, and he didn't eat leftovers. I told her, I said, girl, if you freeze them and drag them out at a different time, they're not leftovers, right? And it worked. So you ladies that have a husband that don't like leftovers, or you husbands that have a wife that don't like leftovers and you do the cooking, freeze them, drag them out, they'll never know. In goes the salt and pepper. So y'all, so far we got water, the purple hull peas, onion, salt, pepper. Forgive me when I go to sneezing, because probably will. I'm gonna put a little bit of vegetable oil in it because I did not fry any bacon. You can do that. A lot of people do that. That's fine. I've learned though, because I used to brown mine with my onions, but it really don't matter flavor wise. And it's got to where some of that pork, as much as I love bacon, some of that pork hurts me. So if you have any lard, I buy lard. I don't have any right now to show you though, or do I? I'm out. Okay, but anyway, you can buy lard. It's called lard, and they literally sell it in most grocery stores. It's in a can, about like a coffee can. That is bacon fat. So if you wanted to buy that and put just a spoon in there or whatever, you could do that. But for now, and for today, I'm putting a little bit of vegetable oil in there. It's not gonna matter. I'm gonna put them in this crock pot. I'm gonna turn that baby on high to get hot. Here's what you're gonna love. The peas are good enough by themselves. But I picked out the garden yesterday. They're already washed. These little ones that, y'all know, if you know anything about the gardening, I should have kept one of them flowers. Okay, but if you garden, or even if you don't, on the end of these squash, they grow from a flower, okay? So there's a flower on the end. Well, when it turns brown, it'll usually fall off, is when you really want to pick them to fry or can or whatever. I steal them is what I call it. So I went out to the garden yesterday. When the flower is brown, but it's not fallen off yet, and they're small like this, y'all, these little small ones, see? Ooh, they're so good. We're gonna put them in here with the peas. I don't know what those peas do to them. And now, you know, just be your own judge. I don't think I like that one. It's kind of, I'm not using that one. Okay, anyway, I didn't cut that off. You gotta cut a little bit. You may have to cut a little bit of the, but don't cut it as if you were gonna can it, y'all. Look, leave the green stuff. Wash it, but leave it on both ends. Don't cut it. Put them in their whole, okay? I don't know what it does. I really don't, but it's delicious. There's one. I'm gonna show you about how big I get. I mean, you don't want them real seedy or anything, or that's what my mother-in-law said. And the first year I did it and I ate them the first batch, I was like, oh Lord, what is that? It gives a whole different flavor to the squash and the peas. Like they're not good enough on their own. But anyway, this is even better. This, I'm gonna put that in there. So, I was gonna put this one, but it's a little fat. I don't think I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna save that one for something else. Okay. But this one, he's a little long, but thin, see? You want them thin. That's the trick, thin. Put that baby in there. I'm just gonna give it a once over with my knife. I'm gonna cook them babies on high for just, I don't know. We're gonna let it get hot. We're gonna let it get really, really hot and boil, like sort of kind of boiling. Your crock pot, it will boil in a crock pot. Don't let anybody tell you that the crock pot won't boil, because it will. If you have a good one. You see this, the trick to this is the lockdown, y'all. Oh, and it's fine there, woman, isn't it pretty? Anyway, we're gonna let it, I have like 3 of these because I use the crock pot a lot. When you work, you have to, or you just have to you have to come up with a quick meal or not eat supper. But in the South, it's a habit. We eat in the evenings, supper, dinner, whatever you call it. The older that I get, I say it's just a way for it to go to fat. But we're gonna eat before we go to bed. so with that being said, I do a lot of crock pot meals. So we're gonna let this get hot. You see me filling it, it's getting warm. You want it to get hot to get going, you know, get it going. But before you walk out the door, you want to turn on low, because I'm going to cook this all day. This will be here until 6 or 7 o'clock this evening, which is, I don't know what time it is. That's about 8, 9 hours. So you do not want it on high. You want it on low. Okay. And then when you come in, they'll be ready. Easy breezy. I tell y'all what, because I'm tired when I come in. These crock pots, you can even, this is also, you can put this in the refrigerator. I don't think I put it in the freezer, but you don't have to worry about washing it tonight. Put it in a bowl. I mean, you can. I do sometimes, but not all the time. Sometimes I'm tired and I don't want to wash this. So I just throw it in the refrigerator with its lid. It's fine. Then I'll come in and do something different the next night. All right, y'all. So the tomato gravy's going. Those peas and squash. Please let me know if you loved it or not. If you prefer the peas by themselves or the squash by themselves, or did it do the trick for you too? Because it's really good. Y'all enjoy.